Press-Highbridge Audio presents Finnegan's Week by Joseph Wambaugh. Read by Ray Chase. Chapter 1. It was the face of a sociopathic killer. Granite eyes, gray, opaque, remorseless. The killer eyes narrowed, the jaw muscles bunched, the clenched lips whitened. Fascinated, he watched as the killer began to belt out the sociopath's theme song. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. An astonishing performance. Jack Nicholson doing Sinatra. No conscience, no regrets, Cobra Man. Or at least too few to mention. Then he lifted a throwaway razor, 5 shaves past throwing, and shaved the killer face, nicking his chin dimple. He flicked the razor into the bathtub where it landed on the crumpled sports page, and he plastered toilet paper on the bloody cleft. He used to do a pretty fair Kirk Douglas impression, using the chin dimple to maximum advantage. All this because Harbor Nights, a new late-night network melodrama, was shooting in San Diego, and they were casting for a contract killer role. Daily Variety said that the killer might appear to get killed off in the first episode, but that he'd keep coming back at you, like Henry Kissinger or Elton John. So the job might be good for several episodes if Harbor Nights got a 7-show pickup. After the shave, he tried to summon forth the killer again, determined to at least read for the part. His worthless swine of an agent hadn't even called him about the role, and yet there it was in yesterday's trades. That's what happens, he thought, when you have an out-of-town agent who couldn't make it in L.A., when you're an out-of-town actor who'd never even tried it in L.A. And once again he wondered if it could have all been different had he lived in L.A. instead of in this town. Never believing stories about people being discovered, he believed that people discovered it, the opportunity to get out of your own miserable, hateful body and be someone else for a while, without resorting to mind-altering, liver-killing drugs to accomplish the transformation. For a moment he thought he'd found his man again while pulling on his socks, but when he ran to the mirror it told him he was wrong. Morning eye pouches caused momentary despair, so he pressed a hot washcloth to the sockets, stimulating circulation. The contract killer was supposed to be in his 30s, and he just turned 45 years old. 45! Awry thought. Maybe they could use a middle-aged sociopath. Gazing into the mirror, he used an actor's trick and conjured images of middle-aged sociopaths. Fat Tony Salerno, Saddam Hussein, Ted Kennedy. Nothing worked. The killer had boogied. The only way to catch his worthless swine of an agent was to get him when he came to the office at 10 o'clock. That's what he planned to do, and he'd covered himself at his job by claiming he had a morning dental appointment. The job. Maybe the face in the mirror could tell him the truth about his job, a job he'd wasted himself on for 23 years when he should have been acting. Truth? Looking squarely in the mirror at the 45-year-old face, he decided there was not a single truth about which he was certain, so maybe he should run for office. He spoke aloud to the mirror in a theatrical baritone. Today, a typical day in Southern California, 2,375 unemployed actors will phone their agents. 3 of them will receive callbacks, and I shall not be one of them. Then he added, but maybe I'll catch him and tear the Velcro grin right off that smirky moosh. Then, after jacking up his agent, he'd have to rush to work and begin the daily brain-slaughtering paper shuffle that was his life. With a sigh that could blow out a bonfire, he adjusted his tie, brushed off his green-checked sport coat, collected his gun, badge, and handcuffs, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?